The Shadow in the Mirror. It was a quiet, foreboding November evening when Alice, an artist in search of solace, arrived at her new dwelling, a quaint yet eerie Victorian cottage perched at the forest's edge. The air was thick with secrets. The previous owner had perished under mysterious circumstances, leaving the house silent for years. Alice welcomed the seclusion, hoping it might awaken her creativity. From the moment the door creaked ajar, a shiver ran through her spine. It wasn't a mundane draft, but a chill that seemed to breathe the house's long-held secrets. Dismissing it as nervousness, she ventured inside, her footsteps echoing in the ominous silence. Initially, the days passed quietly, her canvas capturing daylight while the evenings were spent in mundane unpacking. However, by the third night, the innocuous mirrors began whispering their unsettling tales. Each mirror, gilded and ornate, seemed to echo an era long past. Alice admired their craftsmanship, but unease soon seeped in like ink spreading through water. It began subtly, her reflection delayed as if reluctant to detach from the glass. She rationalized it as fatigue or imagination playing tricks. Yet one night as she brushed her teeth, her reflection committed an uncanny betrayal. It smiled, though her lips remained still. Panic bubbled just beneath the surface. She extinguished the bathroom light and left the room, heart thundering against her ribs. That night, she resolved to avoid the mirrors. Immersed in her work the following day, Alice forcibly strained against the rising tide of dread. Creativity, she hoped, would quell her fears. By dusk, the mirrors and their enigmas receded to the edges of her mind. Yet as night descended, unease clawed its way back. A fleeting glimpse in her bedroom mirror suggested a tall, shadowy silhouette with luminous eyes looming behind her. With a frantic spin, she found nothing but empty air. In desperation, the next morning she reached out to her friend Sarah, her voice tinged with desperation. "Please come visit. This house feels off." Sarah, amused but agreeable, promised to arrive by the weekend. In the interim, Alice covered the mirrors with old sheets and scarves, ghosts cloaked in fabric, granting her some semblance of peace. But tranquility proved as fragile as the silence. That night, a soft, rhythmic tapping roused her from sleep. Tentatively, she followed its call to the sheeted mirror in the hallway. Heart pounding, she watched in terror as the fabric shifted as though a breeze disturbed it. Frozen with fear, she wavered on the precipice of flight or fight, but the tapping ceased. Retreating to her room, she locked the door, a flimsy barrier against the unknown lurking beyond. Morning light brought feigned bravery. She unveiled the hallway mirror to confront her imagination's tricks. Staring back was her reflection, yet somehow wrong, its eyes darker, filled with malice. Rattled, she fled to the village, a haven amongst humanity, until Sarah's arrival provided reassurance. Rattled, she fled to the village, a haven amongst humanity, until Sarah's arrival provided reassurance. Rattled, she fled to the village, a haven amongst humanity, until Sarah's arrival provided reassurance. When Sarah finally appeared, Alice unburdened her fears upon her patient friend, who met them with skepticism. "You're just stressed," Sarah assured. "This house is old. Your mind's overactive." Sarah proceeded to unveil the mirrors, showcasing their inacuity. "See? Nothing sinister here." Alice attempted to digest her friend's logic, yet an insidious unease clung resolutely. The presence of a companion softened the dread as they passed hours with stories and laughter. As midnight approached, serenity shattered with a resounding crash. Racing to the hallway, they found the grand mirror had fallen. Its glass inexplicably vanished, a velvet void framed in gold. What in the world? It was then a guttural sound swelled from the shadows. From nothingness it emerged, a shadow being, its limbs unnaturally elongated, eyes aglow with intent. Alice and Sarah recoiled in terror as the creature stepped forth, its jerky movement alien yet unnervingly sentient. "Run!" Alice screamed as they fled toward the door, willing it to open. Yet the door held firm, defying logic and trapping them within. The entity slithered closer, silent and relentless. In desperation, Sarah flung a chair at it. The object passed through the shadow, splintering harmlessly against the wall. "It's not real!" Sarah cried, disbelief tainting her voice. "No," Alice whispered, "it's real enough." Cornered, they backtracked into the basement, hastily closing the door. In the dim basement light, another uncovered mirror tantalized with mystery. The shadow halted its pursuit. "Why isn't it following?" Sarah queried, fear lacing her words. "The mirror," Alice murmured. Comprehension dawned. The mirrors served as portals, bridges between worlds carefully concealed behind gold leaf and glass. "We need to destroy it," Alice resolved, seizing a weighty crowbar from the darkness. As she approached the mirror, her reflection rebelled, raising a hand in silent plea, lips framing a soundless no. Hesitation wrestled with resolve until Sarah's scream jolted her back. The basement door succumbed to the shadow's force, splintering under power ancient and malevolent. Alice swung the crowbar with desperate strength, shattering the mirror into innumerable fragments. Silence hung thickly before the creature shrieked, its form eroding into smoke. The house groaned, shuddering as if afflicted by its own demise. When the tremors ceased, Alice and Sarah emerged. Every mirror was gone, the air in the house oppressively still. Alice didn't hesitate. The next morning saw her leaving, selling the house without sentimentality, fleeing the suffocating grip of haunted memory. Yet peace proved elusive. In her new apartment far from the woods, life awaited unpacking. As she settled in, her gaze drifted to the bathroom mirror. And her reflection, with disconcerting autonomy, smiled, a chilling reminder that shadows never truly fade.